I'm just going to read from Luke 8. It is the story where Jesus heals the woman who had a blood flow for 12 years. Luke 8, 40 to 48. Now when Jesus returned, a crowd welcomed him, for they were all expecting him. Then a leader named Jairus, a synagogue leader, came and fell at Jesus' feet, pleading with him to come to his house because his only daughter, a girl of about 12, was dying. As Jesus was on his way, the crowds almost crushed him, and a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years, but no one could heal her. She came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak, and immediately the bleeding stopped. "Who touched me?" Jesus said. When they all denied it, Peter said, "Master, the people are crowding and pressing against you." But Jesus said, "Someone touched me. I know that power has gone out from me." When the woman, seeing that she could not go unnoticed, came trembling and fell at his feet. In the presence of all the people, she told why she had touched him and how she had been instantly healed. Then he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace." A remarkable story, really. Jesus was unique in his time, and different people had different reactions to him, but we see in this picture a lady with faith in his healing ability, and I'm thinking possibly she must have watched from a distance where Jesus was healing other people, praying for other people, and thought to herself, if I can just get up and touch him. She had a blood flow for 12 years, which meant that she was unclean in a Jewish sense, and she was female, she was poor, and she was desperate. She reached out and touched the hem or fringe of Jesus' garment as he walked past and instantly got healed. Some of the things that I take from this story is that a healing anointing can be on an inanimate thing. An example here is the hem of Jesus' garment or the fringe of his garment. That inanimate objects or locations can eventually be infused with a spiritual power is an interesting one. There are situations in the New Testament further on in Acts and later on where examples of handkerchiefs, say, being blessed were passed on to other people or taken to other people, and they were healed as a result of touching those things. So it appears, as far as the Bible's concerned, that this is a real thing, that an anointing can be passed through an inanimate object. Healing can take place without the conscious effort or prayers of the person with the healing power. In this situation, it was Jesus. He was on his way to go and see the young girl. He was going with Jairus, the synagogue leader, to his house so that he could pray for the daughter. So his mind was on other things as he was pressing through the crowd too, and yet the healing power, when the lady touched his hem, went out from him. So this says to me that it's not necessarily about the words, it's not about the prayers or even the focus of Jesus' mind at the time when she was healed. It was simply that healing power, anointing, was all round his being. It was just dripping off him. And she managed to get hold of a bit of that and was healed. Effectively, someone can take their own healing through faith. She reached out, she pushed through the crowd, knowing that she was unclean, been in a crowded situation for her and hoping there weren't people around that recognised her and called her out, would have been quite a scary thing. And yet she did it. She pushed through, and took her healing. I wonder if there are people today who need healing, are sick in some way, and there is a step that they need to take their own healing through faith. I don't know what that would be or what that looks like, but it's just a thought based on this story. Healing in this situation was instantaneous. She was healed as soon as she touched his garment. So healing doesn't necessarily have to be a progressive thing, it can be instantaneous. In this scenario, the healer, Jesus, was aware of power flowing when healing was taking place. He knew organically and instantly that power had gone from him. It wasn't just somebody brushing up against him, that somebody had taken power. And that's interesting. And I wonder if that, people with healing gifts in today's world, whether that's something that they can understand. I personally, I'm not sure if I haven't seen any healings as such, but I long for that day when God chooses to heal somebody in response to prayer that I've been involved in. That would be amazing. Jesus said, I felt a power surge through me. This is the Passion Version. Someone touched me to be healed and they received their healing. It's interesting in this situation that Jesus didn't know who it was, just that it had happened. Verse 48, faith in Jesus in this situation released the healing when combined with physical action and physical touch. So that's just a couple points that came to mind as I was reading through this story of the woman with the 12-year blood flow that Jesus healed. The healing flow in Luke 8:40-48. Thanks for listening.